Holy shit, I'm glad to be back. Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Now that that school has started, life is a little less hectic. I'm able to get these recordings in. So I know I've been very behind on a lot of stuff. I haven't really recorded much, to be honest, this whole summer. So that's going to change. I'm hopefully getting back to my regular schedule of at least doing 3 videos a week. Hopefully more, but we'll see. But I missed a lot of Ren stuff. So I know I missed Ren's Vincent Tales Sunflowers prologue. I missed also, the actual Vincent's Tale. So I wanted to get those done today and make sure we get through them, because this is one of the ones I've been the most excited for. One of my favorite Ren performances, one of my favorite Ren reaction videos that I did was the Tales, right? Violet's Tale in particular being my favorite. Needless to say, I'm super excited about these. I mean, so 3 weeks ago, this particular one, Sunflowers prologue, and it's 1.2 million already. So obviously he grew really fast a couple summers ago, but this summer I feel like he's just skyrocketed. Something happened, and he's just been growing in popularity. So I know most of you probably know who Ren is. That's why you're here, right? But if you don't know who Ren is, make sure you check him out. Go to Ren's YouTube, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I believe he also has a Patreon as well. So go support the original artist. That's what this is all about. I also have a Patreon, which we'll be picking up. So I'm gonna be doing a thing right now, 3 videos a week for YouTube, 3 videos a week for Patreon. A little bit of a change for what's gonna be on the Patreon. Obviously still the TV show reactions, movie reactions, a lot of cool exclusive stuff there. But I'm gonna be doing like a lot of behind the scenes in terms of like other bands behind the scenes, a lot of interviews. We're gonna be doing a lot of cool content on the Patreon. So I'm excited about the little change there. It's going to be stuff that's like the YouTube content, but not exactly the same. So yes, there'll be reactions, but there also will be reviews. There'll be discussions happening. A lot of my video podcasts are going to be on there that won't be on YouTube for multiple reasons. But so I'm excited about that. So if you want to support me, it's about a cup of coffee a month. The Patreon is the best way to do it. All right. I was told this is not necessarily like the other tales where it's just him walking down the street. This is actually a production, but this is a prologue, right? So I think it makes sense. But without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get into Ren's Vincent's Tale Sunflowers. I was told I could put captions on this one. Y'all got mad at me before, but they actually uploaded the captions to this one. So I'm going to leave them on just in case so I don't miss anything. Here we go.
Tragic scenes last night in London. A 14-year-old girl was found dead from a fatal stab wound. Her attacker, a 14-year-old boy, is in critical condition
Jenny and Screech.
after a violent altercation with a police officer. Over to reporters on the ground for more.
Oh, such a beautiful shame. The sunflowers will when the skies do not rain. It's a story I'm sure we all know. It's a moment of madness inside of the woes. We all fall down in London town. Shaky ground carries me. Whoa,
all right.
Rain!
A couple things that I noticed already. First of all, love the reggae sound coming from Ren. Ren's done it before, but this is a little bit more of a production, right? A little bit more we got the horn section, but we also got a string section happening, right? Kind of a waltz feel, but it's still a reggae feel. The lights blinking in the back are blinking to the beat or the rhythm of the horns, right? So I wasn't sure. I wanted to wait and see, but I'm pretty sure it's true.
Of the woes, we all
Yep.
fall down in London town. Shaky ground carries me. Whoa, rains down.
Woo!
Blindingly loud. Never surrender.
All right, I love the little Latin trumpet feel. That's different. Looks like another one shot as well.
Oh, what a terrible scene. Here lie the
Was that the rabbit on the TV also? It looks like the rabbit on the TV. See, guys, like, I know coming into a Ren video, I got to pay attention to everything happening, right? I want to go back to the lights for a second, and then also his voice. So the lights in the background, right? This has been a theme for a lot of Ren stuff, right? Obviously, High Ren, the lights blinking specifically when it was his dark I've been watching Dexter, his dark passenger talking, right? But then also in Chalk Outlines, we have at the beginning where the lights flicker, right? Flickering lights, how they're utilized in a Ren video has been kind of a theme. And he's used a lot of red lights too in a lot of his videos. So just stuff that I'm noticing that I think are really cool. Let's keep going.
Carries me, whoa, rains down.
That bluesy rock vocal, man.
Loud, never surrender.
Sorry, this says up here 9/10 to 2/16. Does that mean something?
Oh, what a terrible scene. Here lie the corpses of corporate machines, planting seeds where the grass never grows. But the grass, it stays greener in places unknown as we all fall down in London town. Shaky ground carries me, whoa, rains down.
Oh, that vocal, man.
Loud, never surrender.
Interesting. Yeah, we're gonna go through the lyrics after the fact. There's some cool kind of poetic lines here. If you guys are frequent to the channel, you know I like to talk about the lyrics, but I'm gonna try doing this to where we focus on the music first, and then we'll talk about the lyrics after, just because my mind at this point can't take trying to focus on everything. I'm already trying to focus on the video, and now the music too. I just, for when an actual video, I need to kind of separate it. Bouncy synth. See you, Ren. Why are you looking at me like that, bro? Now we're in a horror movie. I'm assuming Ren's playing Vincent, symbolizing that he kind of just is going through life at this point, sort of like a zombie, right? I mean, I feel like I've been there lately. Like we all have that at some point where it's just like we're going through life. We're not living life. We're just going through life, right? Sort of what I'm seeing here, right? It's the same thing over and over again. We got the pool, we got him drinking, we got him brushing his teeth, we got him in the car, we got it, or a taxi, whatever. But he's just going through the same thing, going through the motions. I've been there, man. Too many times. Preview of Vince's Tale. I know I'm far behind. I really do think that, excuse me, Ren's been stepping it up with each of these videos, right? At least from where I started, like the money game. If you look at all of the money game videos, each one got progressively better, but the last one was like leaps and bounds way different than the other ones, right? So I think his videos have been stepping up. He's seen what we like. He's seen what we react to. He sees what we respond to, but also like what he likes to put into his videos. He's been making sure that he does that, which is really cool. His voice in this is great. We've heard his specific and different vibrato that he has, which I love about Ren. I think it's really unique. It really sounds good. But he brought in some of that rock vocals that we've heard in we heard it in Crutch a little bit, but we heard it in his Freckled Angels album. He did a lot of it in that, right? That was kind of his debut album, his experimental album, I guess, of doing these different genres. But it was a really rock infused album that I really enjoyed. But he had a lot of that vocal happening in that. I love that gritty vocal, the blues rock vocal from him. It's not very often he uses it, but it sounds amazing. Look, we got a kind of a little bit of a mixture of different styles of music in this, right? Like I said, it sounds like a waltz, but it's really kind of reggae sounding. But then we have the little bit of his beat making coming into this at the end there with the synth, the electronic synth and the kind of horror sounds and the whispering of Vincent and all that stuff. A lot of these different elements that he brings to this, that's really cool. I'm excited to see where this is going to go and how this is going to go into the next set of tales, right? From what I understand, it's in the same universe as the other tales, but it's a different storyline. I think there's like little breadcrumbs of the original tales in it, but this is a separate story, right? But I could be wrong. I haven't seen it yet. Let's talk about the lyrics real fast because there was some bangers in there. The sunflowers wilt when the skies do not rain. The story I'm sure we all know. It's a moment of madness inside of the woe. I'm editing this video right now and everything clicked when we started talking about the sunflowers, Vincent's tale, the picture that Ren used for this song. Like it's all pointing to Vincent van Gogh. Vincent van Gogh was obsessed with flowers, sunflowers in particular. It was in a lot of his paintings. A couple of his paintings have sunflower in the title, right? Like this all is pointing to Vincent van Gogh. If I can remember correctly from school and college and studying art, I believe sunflowers had to be symbolic for like happiness or something about like happiness or gratitude, maybe both. And also like it symbolized the beauty of nature, right? The fact that there's a sunflower in this Vincent's tale, Vincent van Gogh sunflowers, and that they're on fire symbolizes like the happiness going away, right? The beauty of nature is disintegrating, all of those things, right? So again, it pushes forward this kind of deteriorating of life, which again, always symbolism in Ren's videos, right? So I'm glad I caught it in the edit process, but I didn't catch it in the original watch through. Using flowers as a metaphor here, sunflowers in particular as a metaphor, wilting when the skies do not rain, right? If you don't nourish the flowers, if you don't feed them, if you don't cherish the flowers, they're going to die, right? I think that's something about life, right? We're talking about going through life. If you don't cherish life, if you don't have an optimistic look on life, your life is gonna wilt, it's gonna disintegrate, you're gonna start being pessimistic about life instead of optimistic. Real quick side tangent. I saw it's an old interview, but it was an interview with Stephen Colbert, and it was Anderson Cooper. It was interviewing him, and he basically was asking him like a quote that Stephen said, something about in everything he does, he tries to see, he's thankful for the good that comes out of everything bad, right? And he's like, I'm thankful to just exist, right? I'm grateful to exist because not a lot of people get to exist. A lot of people have shorter lives. Like every day that I live is a blessing. And while we all go through hard shit, we all go through really bad days, we also have good days, right? Some of us might have a lot less good days than we do bad days, but we still have good days. And I think trying to make our brains feel like it's a blessing to be alive is very helpful. So I think that's a little bit of what's happening here. As we all fall down in London town, shaky ground carries me, war rains down, blindingly loud, never surrender. There's so much noise happening. There's so much happening in my life, so much stress, so much pain. Drowns out the sound it drowns out everything else, all of the good that could be seen around me. War rains down, so war in his head. I hate silence because I know that my brain will get the better of me. I'm working on that now, but and then he says never surrender at the end. I think that's key, right? We don't want to surrender to that noise in our head. We don't want to surrender to, as I said before, the dark passenger, that's where we fail. That's where we can get into pretty bad stuff. Oh, what a terrible scene. Here lie the corpses of corporate machines. This is what I was planting seeds where the grass never grows, but the grass, it stays greener in places unknown. Corporations, businesses, in my opinion, capitalism, right? You know, the head of these corporations, the CEOs that are getting $1 million bonuses while the workers who are actually, you know, doing most of the grunt work get paid nothing is extremely horrific, right? I think people have died for corporations. People have been moved out of their homes through gentrification because of corporation, because of capitalism. Mom and pop shops, people's like family owned businesses that have been for generation have been kicked out, have been demolished through whether just they couldn't compete with these businesses, all of those things. Those things happen. People have literally died and figuratively have been, you know, lost everything that's important to them because of capitalism. And I think that's the metaphor there, right? That's the corpses of corporate machines. Planting seeds where the grass never grow, but the grass stays greener in places unknown. Planting seeds where the grass never grows. I think we try to sort of related to what I said earlier. We try to like find positives or try to make things happen where it's kind of a lost cause. I think a lot of that is again due to we have no choice but to try, but also I think a lot of it is due to just a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different things that cause us to kind of be out of our element, out of our, like we're out of options. When we do that, if we do it, we also see, a lot of us see this grass is greener on the other side type of thing where it's really not. In places unknown, that's a place unknown. We think that there's going to be a better situation where there really is no other situation. I feel I go through this often where sounds bad, but sometimes I fantasize about, instead of having this beautiful home and the 3 kids and my wife, sometimes I fantasize about what life would be like if I had a small apartment. I was living on my own and I can just do what I needed to do when I wanted to do it, right? I have those moments of the grass is greener, but really what would happen on that? I'd be lonely. I'd be upset that I don't have a companion. So it's always, we want what we don't have at certain times. And I think that's the grass stays greener in places unknown. And I also think it could be the places unknown are untouched and nature's allowed to prosper there, right? So there's kind of the 2 different types of interpretation that it could be, but either way, very, very poetic. So yeah, man, I think this is one of the first times I think where there's a little bit of lyrics here that's a little bit poetic and a little bit left out for interpretation, which Ren, I've mentioned before, is usually Ren is usually big on making things sort of on the nose, right? It's poetic, but not to the point where it's up for interpretation. Like, you know exactly what he's talking about. This was a much more poetic, a much more artistic lyrically. I feel like maybe I'm just rusty at this, but which is possible. But yeah, man, I think Ren's killing it still. I think there's some people, and we've seen this in my own comic section in my streams. There's people that are burnt out on Ren because it's always sad. It's always, mad at something or angry at something or sad, or, I'm going through my physical pain, my mental health struggles. It's like, it's kind of what we came here for, Ren, guys. That's what Ren does. That's why we listen to Ren. Yes. Do we like to have happy songs? Which, by the way, Ren has. Do we like to listen to happy songs? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I like to listen to stuff that resonates with me. And a lot of what Ren does musically and artistically resonates with me. It resonates with a lot of people. That's why he has the fan base that he does. I understand it, but I don't really fuck with it, I guess is the best way to put it. With the people who are like, it's the same thing all the time. Because it's really not. He always infuses different types of music. He can do hip hop, he can do rock, he can do pop, he can do EDM, he can do R&B. Like, we've seen him do all of these different genres. I don't think he's doing the same thing. I think the subject matter can be very similar at times, but that's music you build off of what you know and how you feel. I don't want an artist to attempt to do things that they don't actually feel, because that comes through in their music. So I don't know. That's my outlook on it. But before I keep digressing, I appreciate the love and support y'all have been showing me and been very patient with me on this, I guess, break against my will that I've had. But we are back. I apologize if I'm not super coherent. I have been sick and I'm getting back into the swing of doing these videos. So I do apologize for that. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the actual official next tale that we're going to get from Ren. and I do hope it is a new trilogy. Honestly, I think for me, we're in a sticky situation because those three are like masterpieces, right? So I'm excited to see if he's going to be able to create another masterpiece, but at the same time, those are almost near perfect, and I don't want to like taint them with a subpar performance. Not that Ren's ever done a subpar performance, guys. You get what I'm saying, right? Like, I feel like those are perfect and they shouldn't be touched. But at the same time, I'm excited to see what Ren can do with another trilogy, to be honest. So, especially if it's in the same similar style, filmed the same way, kind of the same up in the ante, bait and switch type of story. So, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Please make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification. My channel helps the channel a lot. And before you go, please do make sure you do check out the Patreon. There's a free tier. There's a lot of free stuff on there. So if you like what you see there, it's just going to be amped up for the supported tiers. So I appreciate that. Thank you all so much. And please do remember that good vibes are contagious.